You think you've got everything ready. You've got your flyers, you've got your posters, you've got your calendars. Snacks are lined up, volunteers are in place, you're ready for kickoff. But what about the parents? Well, today on Youth Worker Daily, we're talking about parents in that mysterious parents meeting. Check this out. Hey youth workers, welcome back to the Youth Worker Daily. My name is Jay Hyam, and here at the Youth Worker Daily, it is our hope to encourage you with tools, tips, resources, and helps so that you thrive in your ministry. And this week we've been talking about 5 things that I think you need to have to kick off your new year. We've already talked about the year-long calendar and the benefits for having your entire year planned out and put together and available for parents. But today we're talking about another topic that connects with parents, and it's one that I'm not really sure how frequently we see these things happen. I know it's kind of a trend that has long gone, but when I started youth ministry, the parents meeting was an annual event, kind of like that back to school orientation that most schools do, where parents come in and they meet the teacher and they hear about the things the kids are going to be learning all year long, and some of the expectations, how to help with homework, how to donate tissues for the class, all of those good fun things. Well, the parents meeting for me for many years was very much like that. A chance for me to meet parents, for parents to meet me, and for me to lay out the plan for the student ministry for the course of that year. Now, here's the thing. I actually, I haven't done a scientific survey, but I watch social media pretty closely, and I follow a number of youth ministries, some large, some small. Some come from churches that are in the headlines, so to speak, of youth ministry, and some are just friends of mine who run ministries, and, you'll probably never hear of their church, but they're doing awesome things. And so in listening and following a lot of the social media, I wonder how many of us are still doing parents meetings. I would even say in the course of my career, parents meetings was something that I would do at the start of every school year, because it was a great helpful way for me to meet parents, for parents to meet me, and for me to be able to lay out kind of what our plan was for the course of the year. Super helpful when you have big activities in your calendar that you want to make sure parents are aware of. But it also lended a time for parents to ask questions. But I haven't done parents meetings every year. So I've been in ministry for almost 30 years, 20 of those years in full-time ministry, and where it was once a yearly event, these last couple of years, I haven't done a parents meeting every year. But I'm not totally backing away from the idea of a parents meeting. I think there are still a lot of good benefits for both parents and for your ministry if you're deciding or choosing to have a parents meeting. And that's really something I want to talk about briefly today. As you think about having your kickoff, we go through all of the planning to make sure we've got everything we need for that big event. But I think having a parents meeting is something, if you're going to do it, you need to be thinking about having it early on in the start of your year, even if you want to have it before the year starts. So let me just share a few things that I've done in the past, and then we'll talk about the benefits, I think, for having a parents meeting. So as I said, I used to run them every year. And then a couple years ago, I kind of backed off from that model. What I found was they were helpful for the small handful that were coming out, but we weren't seeing very many parents coming to the parents meetings. Early on, we would get a good showing of parents and families, moms and dads, and it was a great opportunity for us to kind of meet and greet and get to know each other. But over the course of the last couple of years, I've seen those numbers really begin to drop off. And then who we started seeing were just that small handful of parents that are already deeply entrenched, deeply involved, and are probably your number one supporters when it comes to your youth ministry program. At least that's what I was seeing. And so I started thinking about, is this something that we need to do every year, or can we get away doing it maybe every other year? And so I played with that a little bit, and in my last role as a youth director, that's what we did. I was new to the church, and so we threw a huge parents meeting. The attendance was great. It was an awesome opportunity for me as the new guy to introduce myself to the parents. It was a chance for the parents to get to know me, and we were able to lay out kind of the philosophies and the vision and the mission and the goals for the youth ministry now that I had started this new role. The second year, we did it, and I think I had about half the numbers I had from the first year. It was still a good opportunity because we had incoming sixth graders and incoming freshmen. It was still a good opportunity for us to meet those parents and kind of go through who we were and what we were doing. But it was definitely less, or it had a much less attendance than my first year. And then the third year, we didn't do one. We just kind of put lots of information out there via mail or email or social media. We had a newsletter that we sent out, and that was kind of helpful. But we didn't really focus on a family or parents meeting per se. And then I did one in the beginning of the fourth year. And actually, it was good because we saw an increase in our parents. And I was able to really update with some things that had happened over the course of the last year that was making an impact on the new year. And it actually proved to be really a helpful tool the beginning of my fourth year. Plus, we had some issues that we were dealing with, and we wanted to lay out some policies. We wanted to do some things. And it was a good meeting for us to do that. Some years I've done it after the school year has started. I might wait until, 2-3 weeks after the season has begun, and then I would have that parents meeting. I try to gauge it so that I'm not conflicting with what the schools are doing with their back to school or back to, parent orientation nights that they do. So I try to look to see when they're doing theirs, and then I try to get in right after that because, you can kind of ride the tide a little bit because they're doing theirs, but you don't want to conflict with theirs because if you do yours the same week, your parents are going to go to the school and they're not going to come to you. So make sure you have that timing worked out so that you're not in conflict with what's happening in your local schools. So the one year we did them, a couple of years we did them right as school was starting. We and that was good. The one year I actually said, let me try something different and let's do it before the schools. Let's kind of get a jump on things and let's put our information out there early. And I'd like to say that it was a good idea, but it wasn't. We saw very low numbers. Basically, I probably picked the wrong day, and I picked the wrong time, and only I think 4 parents came out. It was not a good thing. So I'm not sure I'm going to recommend that one, but it's something that I've done. You can learn from my mistakes. But the parents' meetings that you do in the course of the year are super, super helpful. Now, what are the benefits? If you're trying to figure out, should I do a parents' meeting? Why should I do a parents' meeting? Are parents' meeting so old school that they're just out of date, or can we do something to revive them and use them again fruitfully? Here's some of the things that I think are important and why you should do a parents' meeting. First, I think it's super important that you have an opportunity to meet parents. I've already said this a couple times, but that parents' meeting kind of gives you the opportunity to put names with faces. You get to see Johnny and his mom and his dad, or Sally and her mom and her dad, and it just helps you to connect who's going with who. And then you have the opportunity to meet those parents, and then ultimately those parents are meeting you. Because no doubt Johnny or Sally is going to be going home and telling, mom and dad about what's happening in youth group and this person, that person. And until they see you face to face, we're just a bunch of names. And so the first benefit I see in having a parents meeting is that face-to-face recognition, that face-to-face connection, and the ability of being able to put people together. I think another benefit for the parents meeting is that you have an opportunity to share a little bit of your story, a little bit of your philosophy, and the vision and mission of what you are trying to accomplish in your student ministry. A lot of times I think parents have a certain idea, whether they're maybe they used to go to a youth group and they remember what it used to be like, or maybe they have no idea what a youth group is, or maybe you have families that they're not even connected with the church, and so their kid is coming because a friend is bringing them. You need an opportunity to share what your youth ministry is and what you're hoping to accomplish. And so by being prepared to talk about those things, I think it's a super important and an excellent opportunity for you to convey who you are and what your ministry hopes to attract or hopes to do. I think a third benefit, very quickly here, is it's an opportunity for you to begin communicating with parents about your school year. Things that are coming up, mission trips, retreats, summer camp. You can, at the very earliest point in your ministry year, get that information out so parents can put that on their calendars and be prepared for when you're ready to announce, launch, and promote those events. Okay? And then finally, I think the next benefit is that you can recruit help. Parents are an incredible source of help and support if you know how and when to tap into them. So by taking that parents meeting and kind of laying out, hey, we're looking for a little extra help, maybe with snacks or maybe with transportation, maybe you need a few more chaperones for an upcoming event. It's an opportunity to at least put before the parents a chance for them to get involved or to see how they can be a part of what you're doing with their kids. I mean, think about every other organization already does it. You play a sports, the coaches always have, here's how you can help mom and dad. Or if you're involved in the school, here's how you can help mom and dad. And you're not recruiting leaders, but you're recruiting help. Again, drivers, chaperones, extra snack items. Maybe you're looking for a few resource items and a parent has those things and they can provide or share them for you. So I think it's a great opportunity in a parents meeting for you to kind of lay out those needs and see how they respond. Now, parents meetings, again, are they still something that we should be doing? Are they something that has kind of come and gone and now we're just not in that place? Well, I think that's up for you to decide based on the context and the culture of your church and community. I'm here at a new church. I don't know that we'll do a full parents meeting this year. I've already done a parents meet and greet, and we're going to be doing some other things later on in the year to offer opportunities for parents to come in and be a part of our ministry. But I'd love to hear from you. Do you still host a parents meeting? And if you do, tell me why and the benefits that you see in having a parents meeting. If you don't do a parents meeting, tell me what happened in the course of your ministry that you no longer do or you've never done one. I'm super curious to hear why you wouldn't do a parents meeting, or how maybe you've done something different instead of having a parents meeting. Leave those comments below, and I'd love to have some conversation with you back and forth to understand and learn from you as well. If you can, go ahead and subscribe, and of course ring the bell. That way you'll know every day. Our goal is to post a new video every day, but when you ring that bell, you know exactly when those videos are posted and they go live, and you can come and check them out. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and on Facebook and Instagram. And guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on the Youth Worker Daily.